right. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight on One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you again. It's been a great new year so far. Really good weather. I mean, it's not been snowing, it's not been ice, and I am not saying that because I want it. I'm just saying that it's been nice. We've been having great weather, and I'm excited about that. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am. What else? The other thing I'm excited about is we got a great guest on the program tonight. We have Capital City Cavaliers senior Alexa Scott. She's joining us out of her busy schedule to share with us a little bit about her article in Sports Soccer Magazine, as well as took place in cross country this year, what she's getting ready for in soccer, and her education, future plans, all those things. So you're gonna hear it right here. You're gonna enjoy this interview with her. Make sure that you guys join us by putting in the comments section any questions or comments that you might have, nice things that you want to say about Alexa. And again, we welcome those all the time on this program. So again, thank you guys. Well, let's get right into it. Let's take a look at Alexa's article here real quick. As you can see, she is a dual sport athlete. She competes in cross country as well as soccer at Capital City High School. I like the title of her article, "My Race, My Pace," and it's setting life's direction. And she is very talented, and we're excited to be able to share this interview with you tonight. If you have not seen her article in Sports Locker, you can go to the sportslockermagazine.com and you can pull up the digital issue and you can read her article in there, as well as a lot of other great articles with student athletes that were featured in that issue. It's a November to December issue of 2025. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's bring Alexa onto the program and let's hear what she has to say to us tonight. Hi, Alexa. How are
Thank
you?
you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm good.
absolutely.
How are you?
I am very good. Thank you for taking time and joining us tonight. I know you've been really
Of
busy with
course.
school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've had a busy 4 years. I mean, I want you to talk a little bit about, just some of those things tonight. But the first thing I want you to tell us a little bit about, what did you think about your article in Sports Locker?
It was really amazing and, just great to see how much I was highlighted in the Sports Logger magazine. It was nice to see my accomplishments put into a page and so that people could see it. And I was, really just excited.
Yeah, good. So, what did your family and friends say? What did they think about it?
They thought it was pretty neat. They were all texting me and congratulating me, and they thought it was really cool that, my hard work was recognized by people, and it was really nice.
Well, you have done an outstanding job, and I know that you have worked really hard, and you've had a lot of people that have helped mentor you, as well as you're being a good example and leader to others. So, do you remember the day that we did your photo shoot? What did you remember about that?
Yeah, I was really excited to be featured just in the first place. So I remember taking pictures with my former teammate, Amara Stell, and it was really fun to have somebody there with me. And just know that I was going to be representing my school in an article. It was really windy, but it was a really fun process to shoot the pictures and answer the questions with my heartfelt messages. So yeah.
Very good. Well, we've got some comments already, and this one from Jim Marshall. He says, "I love all your guests, but may love this one a little more. Proud of this granddaughter." Question: What is the biggest thing she learned from doing her sports in high school? So there you go. Question from Grandpa. What's the biggest thing you learned?
um, the biggest thing I learned is just hard work pays off. Like showing up, it's really important to put in the work no matter how you feel in your good days or your bad days. And it's taught me how to be a better person um, through routine, not just through sports, but in real life. So sports have really shaped my life in that way. So yeah.
Great answer. There you go, Grandpa. That was a good one. All right. We also have another comment here from Sherry Kosir. Thought that the sports soccer um, article was amazing. So thank you, Sherry. We appreciate that. All right. Okay. So talk about your family. Well, we'll get into that one a little bit later. Let's go ahead and get on to this part here first. Um, Tell us about what you were talking about in your article about your athletic journey. It's been marked by passion, perseverance, and purpose. How have those things helped shape you?
Well, I've always been pretty passionate about soccer and cross country from the moment that I started them, and it's definitely been they're not easy sports, so I've learned to be dedicated and perseverance through those sports. Um, like I said, sports have really shaped my life. So um, yeah, that's I mean all I have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, so that passion that you got, did are there some people that are watching on here that helped um, get you to have that passion?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was so in fourth grade I was encouraged by my papa and my mom to try running because they had run before in their high school careers and coached and stuff like that. So I tried it out in fourth grade and I really realized that it was something that I wanted to continue doing and they have been my biggest supporters throughout my whole career. So yeah.
Very good. Well, I love this. We're getting some good questions here. All right, this is from Mary Marshall. What keeps you from giving up?
What keeps me from giving up is honestly just wanting to make everybody proud and also myself. I set high expectations and goals for myself. So it keeps me going to know that, I get to wake up another day and, I'm able to put my best effort through these sports and, the love I put into this sport. And that's what keeps me going is I just love the sport. So yeah.
Very good. Um, I know that again, you said you started at an early age. When did you know that you really loved running and doing cross country?
Um, I started running in fourth grade. I knew I really loved it just after that first race. I ended up running my first race at St. Joe, and I got 30th place, and it was top 30 medaled. And I just barely finished the race. I was so tired, but it really inspired me after that. And I was just so excited that, I just felt a spark light up in me right from the second I crossed that finish line, and I knew I wanted to continue doing it. So, mhm.
Yeah, very good. Well, I did see something in your article that I want to talk a little bit about. My own daughter went through, and I when I read your article, that just like that reminds me so much of what happened with Katie. So it was pretty neat, but I'll share that with you a little bit later. Um, so you are a two-sport athlete. Um, Talk about your younger years, and were there other sports that you tried, or was it just those two?
So when I was younger, really little, I did do like dance and gymnastics, but from a really really young age, like in elementary school, I did soccer, and I've done it since then, and I've played a little club during middle school. But playing two sports, I mean, has been really nice since my sports don't overlap during the school season. But I will say it does encourage me more to work year round because my sports are split up between the whole
Hmm.
year, so I have to consistently work.
Yeah, so that was you did a great lead in right into this next question. So how did you navigate between the two, trying to keep in shape? Because it's two different types of keeping in shape. I mean, those sports, you do different things for both of them. Talk a little bit about the difference and how you kind of had to train and get yourself prepared for that.
Yeah. So in the summertime, I do summer like running training because cross country is my main focus for the summer, just because soccer is all the way in the springtime. So I do focus on cross country during the summer. And then, honestly, by doing cross country, it helps me out a lot in soccer because you run so many more miles on the field than you think you really are during a game. And so it gets me in shape. And then after cross country, I I do like occasional like winter running and things like that. And I'm also doing preseason at the moment. So it's definitely harder to get back into soccer, but once we're really in the groove of it, it's really nice that I've had some running under my belt, and a lot of that, training and conditioning is partly out of the way. So it really helps me transition into soccer.
Great answer. Thank you for sharing that. Let's go ahead. I'm going to hit these other questions before I move on. These guys are doing a great job in here. I should have just had them just write them out, and I didn't even need to do anything. Paul Hickman says, "What teammate pushes you to get better, or teammate or teammates? What? How do they push you to get better?"
So I will say, I did have a teammate about a year ago. Her name was Brenna Schulte, and unfortunately, she could not run this past season just because she had to get a surgery. But she really helped shape me as an athlete, and we helped push each other. And then this year, the Holstrom daughters, the coach's daughters, they really helped push myself. They were always just so positive, and they really helped me. And I also made some really good friends this year on the team. So yeah, it's always nice to have teammates that are there for you through thick and thin, and they know exactly what you're going through too. So I would definitely say, I mean, a lot of the team is just having a team because, you know, throughout the years we have very few girls on the team. So my senior, it was really nice to have a good amount of girls, and we even got to go to state of the team.
Very good. That is great. So Mary asks, "Why did you choose track over soccer?" And she probably meant maybe cross country.
Oh, like why did I choose?
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe,
Um,
maybe what she was meaning. Why did you choose soccer over track?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I chose soccer over track just because I've always enjoyed track, but it is, I don't quite enjoy it as much as cross country. Running in circles has never really been my thing. I definitely enjoy running, on a course a lot more, but I do have a strong passion for soccer, and I knew that I wanted to prioritize that and put all my energy into soccer. So, yeah.
Very good. And Mary, thank you. She said sorry, yes, but that was a good question, and I'm glad you asked that. So, all right. So, Alexa, tell us a little bit about your career in cross country. What were some of the highlights and accomplishments for you?
So, my career for cross country, some of my biggest accomplishments have definitely been being able to make it to state all 4 years of my cross country career. That was a very big goal of mine from the second I started cross country in high school. And I even um, got myself to get to getting all state my sophomore year, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments ever. And then um, something I had also never done was my senior year, like I had stated before. I We were able to have a big enough team for the cross country girls team, so we were able to make it to state as a team this year, and it was nice to have more teammates surrounding me, knowing that we had each other throughout the race.
Mhm. Very good. Okay, so I will get to the part now that I was referring to a little bit earlier. Um, I think it was your sophomore year, and you were at state, and there are so many positions that you can qualify for what all state, and
Mhm.
somebody yelled out to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what took place there and what motivated you to go?
Okay, so I was about less than a half a mile. I was, yeah, less than a half a mile away from the finish line, and it was like the last curve. And um, shout out to my coaches because they were really some of my biggest supporters there, and they were right there at the last turn, and had told me, Lexi, like that's 30th place right there. And I was at 31st, and they said, that's 30th place. You can go get it. And from there, something just clicked in my brain, and I was like, I can do it. And I knew from there that I did. And I even ended up passing a few people at the end. And
Mhm.
it's truly beautiful to know, like, that your coaches are there for you no matter what, and they want you to do your best.
Yeah, didn't you finish like 26th? Is that if I remember right? Yeah,
Yes.
very
Yeah.
good. So the quick story on my daughter. So she wanted to try to do some running, and She was competing in a city, some type of a city race. And so I went out and we did a little bit of training together. And it was the day of the race. And I told her, I said, okay, when the gun goes off, all these kids are going to start off sprinting. I said, do not start off sprinting. You just have your even pace that we've practiced with, and you'll be just fine. The gun went off. She took off sprinting with everybody else. And then by the time she went down and she was coming back, I met her down, not quite halfway, but a little bit after that. And she was just like, "Dad, I want to quit. I'm so tired." And I said, it's okay, hun." I said, "This boy's getting ready to pass you," but I said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay." And the moment I said this boy's about ready to pass you, she all of a sudden kicked into high gear and took off. The boy did not pass her. So I can see that. When I read your article and I saw that, that reminded me of my daughter and what took place on that day. I thought it was pretty neat. So thanks for bringing that memory up. I appreciate that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your education and why that's so important to you?
It's so important for me to excel in school and put my best foot forward because I do hope to pursue radiology once I get into college. So yeah, it's just important for me to strive my best while in balancing sports and school at the same time so that I can provide the best future for myself.
So, how did you get to the decision? I know you had mentioned about sonographer or radiology. How did you get to that's kind of what you figured out you wanted to do?
Well, just about a year ago, halfway through my junior year, I knew that I had had talk with my mom, and I knew that I wanted to explore a career in where I could help people because I've always, wanted to, I always like to help, and so we narrowed it down to jobs that may have you know, like interactions with people, but not where I'm constantly having interactions with people. And, I like visual things. So I decided that radiology or ultrasound would be the best fit for me,
Hmm.
where I could, interact with people at the same time. So, yeah.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit of the difference between the two, ultrasound and radiology?
Yeah. So, radiology is like CT scans and x rays and stuff like that. They just use, like, I don't know how to explain it, like radiology waves, like type it's hard to explain,
Yeah.
but ultrasound is just like they can go in for pregnancies and just
Hmm.
ultrasound that type of stuff. But yeah,
Or different
radiology
different scanning material.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and um sorry.
Oh, no,
And
you're good.
radiology can do a few more things. Like I did recently shadow one, and they do a few more different things than an ultrasound tech might do.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
it's a completely different process.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Sorry to throw that one out there. I was just interested about that and thought some other people might want to know that as well.
Mhm.
Let's see. Before I do this, last question before break. Mary says, "Would you say sports are easy for you?"
I would not. I don't think any sport is easy. It definitely takes dedication and just hard work. I mean, obviously, to some people, sports may come a little easier to you than others, but as much as it being like easy, it hasn't been easy. My journey has been, you know, difficult at times. I've had a lot of setbacks, but a lot of triumphs too. So,
Hmm.
it can seem easy at times, but it is hard.
Yeah. Now, part of that would also be, what is it, sports-induced asthma?
Yes, yeah.
And so you had to battle that, right?
Yes, I've grown more into my sports induced asthma more as I've gotten older. So it's been a challenge I've had to battle with, but it's worth it.
Hmm. Yeah. I think, if I remember right, in that movie Overcomer, have you ever seen that? And
I
I
don't
think
think I
that
have.
I think that girl, she was competing in cross country and she had asthma, and she went on to. I thought it was a true story. I may be wrong, but Overcomer, check it out. It's pretty good. All
Mhm.
right, last thing before we go to break. Talk. tell us a little bit about the recognition and awards that you've received in your academics and what's that meant to you.
Um, so regarding academics, I've never like earned specific awards, but I will say my teachers have always put in good words about me, and they say I'm a hard worker, and
Hmm.
I always put my best foot forward for my education. So
Hmm.
yeah.
What are some of your favorite subjects?
Some of my favorite subjects wouldn't I do enjoy English. I enjoy
Hmm.
English. This is a random one, but I enjoy Spanish class. I took
Okay,
Spanish 1 and 2, and I do enjoy it. I think it's like a memory thing. I really enjoy doing
very good.
the stuff like that. So yeah.
One last story before we go to break. So, my wife and I went to France in 2014. We went there to minister to a family that was getting ready to go to the Congo. The kids had been in our youth group, and they asked if we would come to France. They'd pay our way there, and just to spend time and minister to them before they left for the Congo. And um, my my wife learned to what was it she said? She had a particular word that she kept saying, and then one lady, when we were on the train, uh, my wife said something to her, and then lady started to have a conversation. She said, "Oh, no, 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 I don't speak French. No, 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 no." But it is quite different being in another place where, I mean, they hardly understand you at all. I mean, we think that, people coming here will just learn the language. Well, they think the same thing. You just learn the language. So that's good you're doing that. So
Yeah.
very good. All right. Well, you've done an outstanding job. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, we greatly appreciate all their support for our student athletes, coaches, and schools right here in Mid Missouri. They're a supporter of Sports Locker Magazine. They're a supporter of this program, and we want to thank them for all that they do there. Uh, Also, they help people right here in Mid Missouri that, people that need to find jobs, they help them get connected with employers that need to fill positions, and then they help the employers find talented people to be able to fill those positions. So if you know anybody that needs a job, make sure that you contact Paula and her team at CNS Employment Solutions, and they'll help get you set up there. Also, our other sponsor helps us with Coach of the Issue. And our Coach of the Issue is a great opportunity for us to be able to recognize Mid Missouri coaches like Coach Jim Marshall, who's on here tonight, and just the outstanding work that they do. And we really, really appreciate all the time that our coaches put in. I mean, they spend time away from their families. How important is it to help recognize them and tell them thank you for all the hard work that they put in? If some of you saw the program last week, I recognized my high school basketball coach who just passed away, and um, was able to kind of honor him a little bit last Monday night. And we had lots of people come on and we're sharing memories. And just, it was a great encouragement for the family. And I got several messages from the family saying, thank you for putting that on. And, most importantly, I just want to say, this is the easy part. The coaches and the student athletes, they have the hard part. I just get to talk with them and I get to show them off a little bit. So that's what I get to do, and I'm thankful to be able to recognize coaches like Mark Bridges from Fatima, as well as Coach Jim Marshall. We greatly appreciate Big Whiskies for supporting that. All right, well, we've had a great interview so far with Alexis Scott from Capital City High School. So let's go ahead and get into the second half of our interview. All right. Thank you for not just leaving me and going away, hanging up, saying, "Oh, that I'm done talking to that guy." Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've been doing outstanding, and I know that people are really supportive of you, and lots of great comments on here. And you guys just keep those coming. I appreciate that. Alexa, we we talked a little bit about coaches and just the hard work that they put in. Why don't you talk a little bit about your cross country coaches and what did you appreciate about them?
So mainly just they've always they've always been incredibly supportive and motivating to me, and they've always believed in me no matter what, and that's what I truly think has helped make me so committed to making it to state all 4 years because they believed in me and it made me believe it too. So yeah.
Very good. And I'm just got to do this quick little shout out from Yasmin Frank, Alexa, and lots of exclamation points. So thank you, Yasmin. All right. So, what do you appreciate about your coaches in soccer and how they've taught you to raise your level of play?
They've always like they're not only just trying to help the team, they're also trying to help you individually on your skills as well. So, you know, they'll like give you side notes and not just like I said, not just helping, the team as a whole, but they're always checking in on me and just everyone on the team to make sure that they're meeting their goals and helping them meet those goals as well. So they've always just been so incredibly supportive and some of my biggest role models.
Very good. You guys have a great facility, a stadium that you get, you get to play at. What's that been like, and what's it been like to play for the fans there?
It's been so incredibly great to have our fans supporting me. The energy is so great. It's so good to, it's such a good feeling to represent my school and, play for everybody on behalf of the whole school. And so, it's really uplifting to have people there cheering for you, your friends and your family, and just anyone else who decided to go. So, yeah, it means a lot when fans show up, and it's nice to have our own field to play on.
Yes, it's a great facility, and they did an outstanding job over there with the whole thing. And, I'm amazed every time we go out there and look. A lot of times, though, it's pretty windy coming off of there,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Not so much a problem for me at a photo shoot, because there's nothing. I mean, it just blows right over. But for you, with your hair, we got to make sure we get you the right angle and all that. So,
Yeah.
uh, why don't you tell us a little bit about the positions that you play in soccer and how you got to those particular positions and why do you like them?
So, over the previous years, I've played a few different positions, but I would have to say my later years in middle school to high school, I've pretty much stayed in the same position, but I'm always adaptable to any position I've been put in, and I always put my best foot forward. I'm typically on the left outside back, which is a defensive player on the left side, and I really enjoy being there. I really think it is my spot. Um, but like I said, over the years, especially in club, I was put in different places. I was always pretty adaptable, but I did find my place as a defender my later years in middle school, and I really enjoyed it there and found that I thrived there. And my coaches decided to keep me there.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. What are your individual goals that you have set for yourself this year, as well as the goals for the team?
Some goals I set for myself is to not be so timid around the goal. Even though I am a defender, I hope to take more shots. I think sometimes I find myself being timid to not take shots, but sometimes I have all the space in the world and I just need to, you can miss all the shots you want, but you don't know if you don't take them. So definitely that. And I want to work on, continuing to be a good leader because, I've always looked up to the girls on the team who were previous leaders and I want to continue to be that for the younger girls. And so, yeah, those are some of my goals for the season.
Very good. Um, Tell us a little bit about your career in soccer and what have been some of the highlights and some of the challenges for you.
So some of the highlights have been the memorable wins that we've um, came off the field with. It's really good to walk away from something that was a really hard game, but you're going out with a win, and that's really building up for your team. But even when you have like say you have a losing streak, it's nice to have a team there that will build you up no matter what because you have so many people around you to help you feel better and are telling you, giving you tips on how you can do better and how we could do better playing. And it's just a good atmosphere to be around, no matter if there is challenges. Yeah, it's really nice. So yeah.
Very good. Well, speaking about being a leader, we're going to go ahead and put up Yasmin's question here. She goes, what piece of advice would you give to young athletes starting high school track, especially when they get discouraged?
So, some advice I would give to young athletes starting track is, just perseverance and showing up and also dedication, because, you can't go to practice like one time of the week and then expect things to improve. You just have to have the mental toughness to keep showing up, even on those hard days, and even when things hurt or, it's bad weather or anything like that. It truly is sometimes just mind over matter, even if it feels like you may not be proving or you've had a stunt race or just events or anything like that. Just keep showing up and it will eventually, you can only go up from there. Also be open, because there's not just one thing you can do in track. Especially if you're like a younger athlete who's just getting into track. You have a lot of options to explore and you may end up being good at things that you never thought you would be.
That was a great answer, and thank you for that great piece of advice. Yasmin, thank you for that question. Very good, and we appreciate that. Uh, Alexa, tell us about your teachers, administration, activities directors. I work with the athletic department, and they, help us to select the student athletes, which they chose you to represent the school, and that's I think, a very good honor for them to select you, because basically we have 6 student athletes throughout the year, and you guys got a big school, so I think that's something that speaks highly of you. They think a lot of you. So tell us about your relationships with teachers and administration and what's that meant to you.
Well, they've always encouraged me to do my best and challenged me academically, no matter the circumstance. And, I've always just tried to be the most respectful, like inline student that I could be. And they've always helped me, to stay on top of things, even when if I've missed things for um, either like, sports or any other things I might miss. So they've always been really helpful in that way, but also challenged me to do my best no matter what.
That's very good, and it's great to have that type of support. And I know that they have so many student athletes coming through the system every single year, and but you know people do recognize when a student athlete is someone special, and so I am sure that you have left your mark there. So. Um, in your article, you talked about your family and especially mostly your mom and how she's been a good example for you. What do you appreciate about your mom?
What I appreciate about my mom is sometimes showing up means the most, and she's always been at every single race, every single game, no matter how much other stuff that she has to go through with she's doing schooling online and stuff like that. So just a busy life, and sometimes showing up just means the most, even if it's a smaller. It doesn't matter if it's a smaller event or a bigger event, and she's always been my loudest supporter. So I definitely always hear her on the sidelines. So it's nice to know that, I have someone cheering for me no matter what.
Yeah, and and I think she's in the room with you too, isn't she?
Yeah.
You did really good answering that, right there. I mean, that was great. So, mom's going to be able to pull this up and she's going to look back on it and say, "Remember when you said this about me? That was so nice." She'll be able to
Probably,
pull it
yeah.
up. Yeah, that's great. Um,
Yeah.
what how did your mom help you with cross country and soccer? How did she help you to be a better student athlete there?
She's always helped me to be a better student athlete by just always encouraging me. Like when I have my harder nights or my days when I'm trying to balance them, she's always been there telling me and helping me in ways that nobody else could, like encourage me and helping me in school, and also sometimes occasional advice about things that I can do or things that I can improve on in my sports, just because she did do the similar sports that I did when she was younger. So she's always been there to help me no matter what.
Would you say that you get competitive with your mom in any way? Board games,
Um,
stuff like that?
like board games?
Board games, running, I don't know. You guys do
I
that?
think for sports wise, I think in middle school there was this time when I was trying to beat her track record at middle school,
Uh-huh.
and I did not beat it. I was on the second, and I didn't get it by like millisecond same second. But I definitely was trying to beat that. But yeah, I would say I get my competitive nature from my mom for sure.
All right. Well, I know that when my dad, he used to always beat me in a foot race, and so the day that I beat him, I wanted to do it again, and that was the last time he ever raced me. So, you know, that's I didn't think it was fair. I thought, I should have ample opportunity to, try to beat him after, all the times that he beat me, but that's okay. You talked about other family that you mentioned in the article. Tell us a little bit about you have siblings. Share a little bit about them and some of your other family members.
Sorry, Wi-Fi malfunction.
Oh, you're fine. It looks like you're just buffering a little bit there. Um, Tell us about your siblings or other family members. Okay.
So my siblings, even though they're young as they are, sometimes they are some my second loudest supporters as well. My my little sister and my brother do claim they always look up to me, and they're always screaming at me from whether it's on the side of a course or on the sidewalk next to the turf field. So yeah, I always enjoy seeing their faces and, getting to see them after a game and them telling me good job. And it's a good feeling to know that your family is all surrounding you.
Yeah. And so, are you able? I know you said you could hear your mom on the sidelines. What about your papa and other relatives?
Yeah, I would definitely say my next biggest supporters are my papa and my Mimi. They do have pretty busy schedules. They do show up whenever they get the chance, though. And I always love seeing them show up because I think showing up is a big part of, my encouragement to do good in sports. So.
Well, they've got great names for grandparents because that's my name is Papa and my wife's name is Mimi as well. So they great names. Good job, guys. All right, Alexa, we got just a couple more questions and then we'll let you get on with your evening. But um, what would you say that you wanted to be remembered? It said in your article you want to be remembered as friendly, a hard worker, and a good role model. Tell us about that and how you're trying to accomplish that for the rest of this year.
So I'm really striving to meet those goals of, just being somebody that anybody can turn to, but also just a good leader in itself for the team because, I've always strived to be, a leader on my team just because I looked up so much to the girls um, in the past who were seniors or just upperclassmen, and they really made an impact on my sports career. And I just thought I wanted to be exactly like that, and I want to leave my mark as well, like they did on the program for the younger, athletes to come. So it's really, just a lot of impact from the previous players, and I strive to be like that too.
Yeah, very good. So, this is just another one, just kind of add on to that too. So, for your younger siblings, um, I mean, they're looking up to you obviously as a role model as well. What do you want to leave with them as you move on to the next phase in your life?
I want I want them to know that, you know, um, doing your best is very important, and you leave more of an impact than you think on not only just sports, but school, or people that you talk to in your everyday life. So I want to leave them with a good sense of advice from me that I'll always be there for them, but also leave them with my remarks of it's good to be a leader, but also friendly and somebody that somebody looks up to eventually. So.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so what are some things that you like doing in your spare time, which you probably don't have, but what are some other things that you like to do?
Some things that I like to do in my spare time, I spend a lot of time with my family. I like to spend time with friends occasionally when our schedules do get to line
Mhm.
up. I enjoy going to church and I really like listening to music anytime I get the spare chance.
Very good. All right. Well, that is the actual end of our regular questions. I'm going to ask you a quick couple of fun questions and then we will let you go on your way. But what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after you're done competing in an event?
My favorite, I don't have anything in particular after like right after. I would say if I had to say something, just anything really salty because I've lost a lot of the salt from my body because of either a race or a game, and I've always just craved something salty, maybe like goldfish or just like
Mhm.
stuff with protein, just to fill me back up and get those
Ramen
this
noodles.
to get that back in my system. So, I
Yeah.
mean, really just anything salty.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
And so, since mom and others are watching too, what's your favorite meal that you like to have your mom prepare? What's your favorite food?
The favorite thing that she prepares for me is buffalo chicken dip. I actually always ask her to make it. It's really, really good. So yeah.
Okay. And again, this will be a constant reminder. Mom, I like buffalo chicken dip. So just, I mean, you can cut out this little clip and keep playing it over and over again. Oh, we do have some inside information from your papa. She's an iced coffee nut.
Oh yeah.
All right, Starbucks and lemon loaf. All right. I think Papa she needs to have a date where she can get some of that, and that you'd just be able to take her out and treat her. What do you say, Alexa?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, good. All right. If there's anywhere in the world that you could go, where would that be and why?
Somewhere I've never been before. I think Greece would be really, really cool.
Mhm.
Or going to Paris. I just think those places have always intrigued me and I would love to visit them one day. Just beautiful scenery. And I do definitely want to travel more when I get older and more financially, like, you know, not say responsible, but am more financially based and have a good, income coming. I
Mhm.
would like to travel more as I get older.
Yeah. So I know a young man that is a missionary over in Greece, and they put together some type of um, a sporting event for like homeless people from all over the region. People come in for that, and they really try to encourage them and build them up while they're there. But he talks about Greece being a melting pot of people. Kind of similar to like what the United States is, but they have a melting pot of a lot of people from a lot of different countries. Coming in right in that area. So yeah, he loves it there, so you probably would enjoy it. So I hope you get to go there.
Yeah, I
All
hope so
right.
too.
Yeah. What's so this is going to be a question that we might have some input as well. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house and why?
My least favorite chore. I would say probably just like probably just picking up my room. Like I pick it up occasionally, but my mom
Uh-huh.
tells me a lot that I need to pick it up more. So probably
Okay.
just picking up my room.
All right. Well, that's a great answer as well. Dishes. People say dishes are the number one answer, and I bet you had something different, so that was good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you the opportunity to make any final comments or any shout outs that you want to do. You've done a great job, but I want to give you that opportunity real quick before we close out here.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to come in here and talk about me getting a chance to be on the Sports Locker magazine. It really has been a, thing that I will never forget. And it's really exciting to know that I was chosen out of like a lot of people that could have been chosen. And I want to thank everyone that's watching and just all my, friends and family who might be watching and sending in nice things. So yeah, it's been an incredible, opportunity.
Well, we have been honored to have you in the magazine, as well as I'm honored tonight to be able to do an interview with you. So thank you for taking your time. And I'll have you wait for just a moment after the program. I'll close it out real quick, give them a few instructions, and then I'll visit with you really quick afterwards, if that's okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Alexa. I will see you in just a moment. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight as I interviewed Alexa Scott from Capital City High School. Yes, as Mary said, you're a rock star. And so she did an outstanding job. Uh, I'm letting you know that, again, you can find this on our Facebook page if you want to rewatch it, or you can go to our YouTube page, Sports Locker, um, One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. We'll have that on there that you can share with your friends as well. And all right, Sherry Kosier says, great job, Lexi. And yes, she did. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This has been One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and we'll be back on here again next week. Until then, God bless you, and we'll see you then.